Hello everyone, and thank you for listening to Aniki Nikki. The last one went a little too long, so we decided to split it up into 2 episodes. If you haven't listened to the last one, check out Aniki Nikki episode 9, the spring anime wrap-up, so you're not left in the dark as to what we talked about last time. Thanks, enjoy the episode.
So now that wraps it up for the first part of this. Let's go look at some things that we're continuing into this season. I have 4. I actually still haven't finished Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Hen. If you liked the first Cardcaptor Sakura, then you probably like it. It's more of the same. Episodic cards escape and are wreaking havoc in the school and surroundings. And a lot of the thing is actually kind of recycling things from the original series, because that's what it's supposed to do. That's the point of it, though. It's not the point of the show, but the point is that the cards are changing. So for example, there's a water, and from where I saw up to episode 14 out of 22. And the characters are now just kind of starting to get it, like, oh, this is very similar to that card that it was before. Basically, all of her magic cards, turn clear, and they lose all their magic power. And then they kind of start to go wild. She has to catch them again, but this time they're devoid of magic, but in the general sense. Like, in this world, people can sense magic, but no one can sense magic from her cards except for her. So they become kind of like, I think what they're building into is that she has become a super powerful magician to where she's made her own magic that's surpassing the previous ones. So it adds a little thing because a couple characters had a kind of like spider sense thing where they could sense that magic was about, but now they're just completely caught off guard. And there's some creepy dream stuff that happens, and there's a friend that's introduced that's very clearly involved, but doesn't know that she's involved. Or does she? It's one of those kind of things. Like, is she just pretending to be innocent and then it's going to be a big reveal? Or is she actually being used by her butler? Because that's the thing. It's pretty good. If you're not into episodic storytelling, then you won't like it probably. But if you were into the original and you were looking for more of the same kind of thing, except they're a little bit older, and you want to see more of the relationship between her and Xiaoran, yeah, you watch it. They get pretty much all of the old voice actors back, which is nice. This is similar to Full Metal Panic, where it was like just out of nowhere, like 10 years later. Get the gang back together. Like, we're doing this. No one asked for it, but we're doing it. So it's pretty good. I definitely am gonna watch it, but I was kind of in a rush to catch up on the other stuff that was so we could talk about it. And I know I'm the only one that was in our group that was watching this anyway, so yeah. If you like the old one, watch this one. All right, so now
cool.
Here we go. Darling in the Franxx.
Oh man,
we're here. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
What a show.
You didn't seem to like it at the end.
Well, all right. So full spoilers. We're going spoiler here.
Yep.
If you have not finished it, stop or don't at me about this later, because I'm going to talk about stuff now.
Yeah.
I hated mostly I hated the plot armor that the kids have. I hated that nobody except the super elite group of people dies. Like, alright, so Goro is like trapped inside with no oxygen, and they save him for some reason.
Yeah.
Ichigo is stuck inside the monster, and they somehow rip inside and pull her out, right? Like,
yeah.
those are not things that should have happened. At least one of them should have died.
Yeah.
And then, but then like the group of kids that was a solid unit following orders gets completely destroyed. And then the kids that are half dinosaur or half Klaxosaurs or whatever they're called in English, half Kyoryu, they get messed up. But like this snot-nosed, we can't even form a team after all this time together, somehow managed to escape from death, all of them? Come on. Come on.
And even, unlock the next generation of humans too, right?
And like, yeah, what the hell? You're telling me like a bunch of 10-year-olds are going to be able to, with the help of some books, start a farming culture? Like, and just be fine with no machinery whatsoever? Like, come on. I liked the story. I liked the whole idea of, oh, we're in this bird cage. Oh, what are the Klaxosaurs? Oh, it turns out, like, why are they attacking us? Like, what's going on here? Oh, it turns out that they're attacking us because we're using their wives as fuel. Like, their husbands and wives as fuel. The whole secret of the magma energy was cool. The whole, like, space aliens have taught us how to be immortal, and now we're not. Humanity has stagnated, but that's better. Was cool. Dr. Franxx dying from being like, yes, it's finally happened. Oh, I'm crushed by a rock. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. But the whole, oh, we're the heroes, so nothing bad can happen to us. Also, a bunch of untrained people gave birth, helped birth a child from a 12-year-old and she was totally fine. And everyone knows how to raise a baby, even though every book except for one about childbirth has been destroyed. Like,
well,
come on.
I feel like it was implied that there was a lot of old, like, records and old information that they were able to use. Just because toward the end, I mean, basically, it was like a whole civilization again. I actually thought, when I thought about it toward the end, I think that I saw a lot of like other kind of like nods to other shows, because it was Trigger, and it's like guys, people from Gainax, like people from other studios, like helped made this up. So like I saw like, there's definitely I think some nods to like stuff like Gunbuster, like Gurren Lagann, like Evangelion, like stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty neat, because I don't know, if I think of it more like kind of like a love note to all those other series that some of these guys probably worked on. When I think about it like that, I thought, oh, like, okay, this is pretty neat. It's more like a modernized version of some of that, but not really. Like, it's still kind of their own thing. But toward the end of it, though, yeah, I was kind of like, well, like, this is a little, it's trying to be like weird, like Ava weird, but it didn't really get there either.
Yes.
I didn't really care for.
It felt.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just say it felt to me. It went from like feeling like, okay, we're copying Ava. No, now we're copying this. No, now we're copying this. No, now we're copying this. Now we're back to copying Ava, but we're not.
Mm-hmm.
But then we are, and it just I don't know. It just always felt like it was something else. Maybe that was part of the homage to their other stuff, but like, I thought the beginning of it got me really hyped up, and then just the more it went on, the more it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay. It's like,
I mean, when I think about shows, like when I think about how I felt when I watched Kill la Kill, and when I think about how I felt when I watched like Little Witch Academia, like I thought those shows were like, they had a lot more, like, I don't know, they just seemed they were a lot more exciting, I think, toward the end of it.
Yeah.
Where like this kind of, I think it kind of lost a lot of steam toward the end of it. You know, the whole part I didn't like is that, oh, we're like, we went through this portal in space. Like, oh, 02 turned into this giant robot now. Like, she's this giant thing now, and like Hero's inside of her, and they're like one being, but like they're just kind of drifting through space for 8 years. Like, well, what's going on here?
Right.
Like, why did they get a portal, and now all of a sudden they still have to travel for a long time, and like nobody hears from them again? Like, I don't know. Like, I think they could have done a lot better with some of that. I was super pissed until the very end when you know, the two little kids are like by the tree, and like it's obviously Hero and 02, and you're like, oh, okay, like, but like now it's like, so I'm like, okay, so I'm assuming there's
at least they got back together.
Yeah, in a way, I guess. So I mean, if that didn't happen, I would have been just super pissed. Like there would not have been any other thing you could tell me about it. But I don't know. Like yeah, like the first, and I think what, if I remember right, I think the first half of the show was by one studio. Like it was Trigger or A1, and then the last half was like directed by the other studio. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. You know, whoever, I think it was like A1 did the second half of it. So like I don't know. I need to check again, but I feel like maybe that, you know, messed up some direction, or like messed up some flow of the story. Overall, though, I thought it did a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, I thought it, like, there was a lot of, you know, references to the other anime and stuff like that. But overall, I didn't get that same impact like I did with something like Eva, and something like I did with Kill la Kill or Gunbuster or something like that.
Right.
But,
well,
yeah.
So here's my thing about that. I felt the last 3 episodes or so of Darling had basically no agency to them.
Yeah.
Where, like, when you watch Kill la Kill or like Gurren Lagann or something like that, you're leading up to the climax of the show, and you're like, oh, he needs to go fight these bad guys, or she needs to go take care of this and fight at the school and save everyone. Where for Darling it was like, oh, the aliens ran away. I guess we'll chase them into space. But after we spend a couple months on Earth, and okay, and now we're gonna go, okay, we fought, okay, now we'll just let that, you know, Hero and 02 will take care of that, and we're gonna have a farming life.
Yeah.
It was like just 2 episodes of like, well, we're farming, and we're having babies and stuff, and then it's like, shot to space. 02 is killing stuff. And then back to, alright, well, here we are back on Earth. So we can't have a farm here. We gotta move back over there because the magma has destroyed everything. Okay, alright, back to space. Pew, 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 pew. Alright, back to Earth. And like, there was no sense of like epic climax.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, you don't need that in every show, but if you have a show based around robots fighting aliens, I want a big showdown at the end. Yeah. Not just like, oh, 02, we're finally one together. Oh, Hero, I can hear your thoughts. Super Mega Cannon activate. You can't actually kill me because I don't have a body, fools. Like, but I'll be back later. Like, so I don't know. If someone was to ask me today, hey, I hear a lot of people talking about Darling in the Franxx, should I watch that? I would be like, have you watched Evangelion and Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann and Gunbuster? If your answer is yes to all of those, I guess give it a try. If not, please watch these other better things first.
You know what, though? I would almost say like that if this show came out like when Kill la Kill did, I would say that it almost feels like they were made in reverse, where like this should probably have been like one of the first shows Trigger made, and then they would have made something like Kill la Kill, which would have been, you would have been like, oh, okay, like I could see the growth here as a studio. But this almost seems like a little bit of a step back, even though I did like it overall.
I agree completely.
So I feel like if you're not familiar with Trigger, or if like, you know, you want something different from like A1 or something like that, maybe watch this first then. If you've never seen any of the other ones, and then just go and watch all the other ones too. And I think you'll get a better sense of, like what that studio is capable of if you do it that way. But I don't know. I hope, you know, I'm definitely going to watch whatever they put out, you know, if they put out stuff in the future, but I just hope it kind of, I hope it's kind of like what Kill la Kill was, or what, like, you know, Little Witch Academia was. Cause this I think was a little bit of a mess. And again, I don't know if that's because of the, you know, because the other studio was tacked on. I think maybe if it was full on Trigger, like maybe it would have been a lot better, I guess, but you know, we'll never know.
Mm-hmm. I basically agree with everything you just said about the reverse order and stuff.
Yeah.
So, oh well. I mean, a little bit of a letdown, but it was still a pretty good show.
Yeah, overall.
All right, moving on. Not too much to talk about in this sense, but we had the second season of Saiki Kuso no Sainan, which was fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
I finished it up yesterday.
I still have a couple more episodes to go, but it's just great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect.
I think it's definitely one of the funniest shows I've seen in a very long time, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do a third season as well.
Nice.
And again, that's the thing where like these are 2 full seasons. Like the first season was 24 episodes. This season was 24 episodes, and I'm assuming the third season is going to be 24 episodes. Yeah, and it's like JC's staff, and it's like, well, like I don't. It's a gag. It's a gag manga, so it's like I don't understand why, like, you know, something like this can get such a good treatment and then other stuff can't. It's super baffling to me.
I think Jump is really putting their money in here because Gintama's ending soon.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to make this their flagship comedy from here because they gave it a live action movie.
Psyche
as
or
well.
Gintama?
Yeah.
Oh,
Psyche.
wow.
Both, actually.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Gintama had Oguri Shun, who was also in the Lupin live action movie. He was in Hanayori Dango. He was in Hanasaka Kimitachi. He was in I have like a little running joke like, all right, anime execs, you can't just put Oguri Shun in a live action movie and say it's going to be a good movie. Like, he's in so many live action movies, but of anime. But the Saiki Kuso was done by some guy from Johnny's, like basically some like upstart idol that they wanted to push, just like the guy from the live action JoJo movie. But I did not watch it because I stopped watching live action anime movies because I'm just going to hate them. And then people say, well, if you hate it so much, why do you watch it? And I say, you know what? You're right. So I should probably stop watching it. And then people are like, well, you can't say you hate it so much if you never saw it. Well, you just told me not to watch it. So what am I supposed to do here? So I stopped watching things.
Yeah,
but,
makes sense.
So I think that they're pushing this. Like, they're trying to bring this into the public eye more.
Sure.
And I think it deserves it. It is hilarious.
I love it.
I used to read the manga a little bit. I haven't really been reading Shonen Jump manga for a while because I've just been busy and you know. Yeah. But I'm really excited to hear there's third season, so great. So then last we have Yomushi Pedal. Are you current, Paul?
I am not.
Alright, well, in Yomushi Pedal, so we'll just say Yomushi Pedal Glory Line picks up after New Generation and is done a lot better, I think, than New Generation. I hated New Generation. I read the manga. I'm current on that ish. I think I usually wait till they release a full volume of it because I don't read anything else that's in Champion.
Yeah.
So I'm probably a little bit behind right now, but for the most part, I'm current. Something about the direction and the character design for New Generation just really rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like the way the animation was done. I actually didn't watch it all the way through, and I was almost not going to watch Glory Line, but then I did, and I'm happy I did because it was much more well done. So Glory Line basically starts the Inner High second year Inner High story, where New Generation was basically the introduction of the new characters from the different schools and stuff. Yeah. It's done really well, but one thing that bugs me, and the original series manga was kind of like this too, or the original series anime rather was kind of like this too, but it kind of starts to kind of cheese it up.
Yeah.
Where the manga is done a bit more seriously. Like, obviously they're copying it from the manga, so situations are the same, but I just feel like the voice direction and the way that it's done, and they do add in a little bit of stuff, kind of like skews it for those, like the Fujoshi type audience.
Yeah.
Especially like at the end of, after the credits, they have these like non-canonical, funny little 1 minute bits. And they're just very clearly like fan service for Fujoshi bits. Like, they did that thing. That's my pair. Like,
yeah. No, I think I watched a little bit of it. And I think that's probably why. I don't know. I didn't watch any of this season, but I think I stopped watching the last season, I think, because of that. And I just read the manga after that point.
Well, I think, based on what people were telling me before, the anime might actually be further than the translated manga now, the scanlated manga now. So,
you know,
if you need to get your fix, then you can do that.
Where I stopped, it was like the translations were like actually at the same point of the show, which I thought was a little weird. But yeah, I'm not sure where it is now.
Well, I would say if you liked the original Yowamushi Pedal and you did not like New Generations, you should give Glory Line a chance. The Inner High storytelling is pretty good. There are some new characters I really like and some new characters I really don't like. Yeah. Not because they are not good enough to replace the old characters that have graduated, but just because I really don't like their personality type. I feel they're a little too stupid or a little too like persistent in, you know, a lot of the times in these sports animes it'll be like someone is like, oh, you can't do that, and they'll be like, oh, but I can. And then, or some other one will be like, oh, there's no way he's gonna make it, and someone will be like, no, we can, he can make it, we're a team. And they'll be like, no, you can't. And it's just that forever. Also, it bugged me, they basically wasted the last episode because they didn't want to start the next plot part. So like they ended the second day, but they still had an extra episode to go. So they're basically like, all right, everyone get on the starting line. Okay, now everyone start. And now we're going to have Onoda talk about how important it is to be a team for like 10 minutes. And a bunch of flashback stuff. And it was like very clearly like, we can't go any more than this. Like, we can't do anything meaningful because the way the manga goes, then it'll end on a cliffhanger, and we want it to end on a more satisfying note. So they're basically just kind of like drag their ass for the last part of it. So
yeah, I'll have to get into it again. Catch up.
Give it a try.
Yeah,
give Glory Line a try. I think you'll like it. If not, just read the manga. The manga is good.
Yeah.
The manga has a bit of that kind of like, oh man, stuff in it, but it's a lot more subdued because there's no voices, and the pace is really quick. The pacing in the manga is much better. The anime, sometimes there's a couple plot points they just really drag out because they're realizing like, oh, maybe the storyboarding wasn't as good as we thought. We need to like like redo this because we're going to go too far and have an unsatisfying And so, I mean, I do appreciate that they didn't put it at a weird place where it's like, oh, cliffhanger, wait a month or 2 months or more while we prepare the next one. So that was good, but yeah. All right. Well, is there anything we missed that you wanted to talk about? Anything maybe you watched I wasn't aware of?
I was going to say real quick, we don't need to go on about it, is I tried to watch the new Fist of the North Star spinoff, Soten no Ken. It was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I watched 4 episodes of it. It's just like 3D, like CG, like just these giant muscly dudes. Like, I don't even know what they were trying to do in this show. Like, the story is like super boring. The characters are boring. Like, they're just, they have Kenshiro in there, like, who is like, Kenshiro from Fifth and North Star. It's like his uncle, like his great uncle or something. It's like in 30s China. Like it's incredibly stupid, and it is not anything like what I was hoping it was going to be like.
That's bummer.
Just don't even waste your time. But yeah, that was the only other one on here. I was watching Shokugeki no Soma. I need to finish up the 3rd season of it. That actually is a really good show. If you like a cooking drama show, up through the 3rd season, I would say it's been keeping my attention. I fell off during the 3rd season. I need to catch up with it. But like, I think the one night I started watching it, like I watched the whole season in one night or something like that. Like, I blew right through it. It was really cool. So I need to catch up on that. I know that was airing last season. But other than that, yeah, nothing else here on this list, worth mentioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will avoid that one then. That bummed out about Soten no Ken.
Yeah.
But oh well.
All
right.
Not
and yeah. All right. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. It's been a long episode.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking with us. If you want to contact us, you can get on at Facebook and Twitter at Aniki Nikki Pod, or Gmail at anikinikki@gmail.com. I know I mentioned in the past we're going to start a new show. We are. It's hit a little bit of a snafu in the fact that I cannot choose a starting song, an intro, and an outro, and I just haven't really had time to work through the huge list of stuff available. So if anyone has some good snippets that would be neat for like a news show opening, send them to me, and I will use it probably, as long as it meets the creative common grounds for use. I don't have to pay a bunch of money for it. All right. Well, thank you. Anyway, thank you for listening. Have a great day, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.